Welcome to tonight's event, everybody. This is Todd LaValle.
And joined with Todd LaValle is Chad Detchen. Tonight's matchup is going to start at 220 pounds, where we're going to see a forfeit taken for Goffstown by Nigel Okereke. And it looks like at heavyweight, Winnacunnet's going to take a forfeit. So that brings us all the way around back to 106, which I believe is going to be another no contest. I believe Ryan Mackey is going to take a forfeit for your Goffstown Grizzlies.
A lot of no contests tonight. We were fielding pretty much a full team here at Goffstown High School when it kind of comes in with some quality wrestlers, but they don't have the caliber of numbers this year in their program, and typically in the past they've actually had a very, very healthy program here along with us.
And here comes Matthew Familia at 113 receiving another forfeit for Goffstown. Yeah, Winnacunnet, we wrestled last year at senior night and had some really good matches with them. Was really hoping to see Jack St. Jean at 126 wrestle Lesperance, but apparently Lesperance is hurt again, so we won't see them wrestle tonight. We'll have to wait till the end of the season for them two to match up at these two states.
Yeah, so again, the history of these two programs, they've gone head to head, and we've had some really good matchups in the past. I remember back in 2011, these two teams were battling for the state championship. We came up on top, and just again, high quality wrestling from both programs are able to be had here at Goffstown.
Looks like Winnacunnet's taken a no contest there. And that should put us up to 18-12 in favor of Goffstown. And walking to the mat is junior Jack St. Jean, who we have high hopes for this season. He coming off a great sophomore season. He placed fifth at Lowell's, which is one of the highest places in Goffstown history, and wrestled a tough D2 states. Came up a little short against Lesperance in the D2 semifinals. But ended up getting third at MOC's, and there he is in on a shot and a takedown. He's up right away 2-0.
Yeah, Jack comes out with an outside leg single, gets right on top, looking for control. We should see some really good aggressive wrestling from Jack, because he does do a lot of off-season wrestling, so he should be in shape and probably have the edge on this Winnacunnet wrestler. Yeah,
he was at Super 32s, which is probably one of the toughest matches, toughest tournaments of actually all year. Used to be just a tough preseason tournament, but it's got nationally acclaimed wrestlers that go there every year, and Jack was out there wrestling tough only a few weeks ago. So, and he wrestled a couple of tough matches at the Brawl. He wrestled a tough Timberlane match, who he ended up winning. So he's already got some good matches under his belt going into his junior season, which is good for him, because he needs to, maintain that technique that he has. And here he is with a turn. He's going to get some back points.
Yeah, he just went from a bar arm to a, with a cross wrist there from on top. And just
still got that cross
up.
wrist, and he jumped over to the other side, which is good. And he's going to get 3 back points for that. And he jumps out to an early 5-0 lead with just under a minute left to go in the first period.
So, Chad, let's talk about back points. How do you get back points here?
Sure. So back points are awarded to a wrestler when they turn the wrestler and their back is exposed to the mat.
Over a 90-degree
angle? Over
a
90-degree angle, and you're going to see the ref verbally and also with his hand start counting. And when he gets to a 2 count, that's going to award the wrestler 2 points. And when he gets to a 5 count, he's going to award the wrestler 3 points. And that's a little bit different than collegiate wrestling. They just recently changed collegiate wrestling to 2 count with 2 points.
I see him waving his hands now.
Yeah, so he's going to get another 2 because he didn't get a 5 second count there. But actually, the collegiate level, they have a 4 point. He's got a cradle, and I think this might be it. He's got a pretty tight cradle in now, and he's rocking him back, and that's it.
Okay.
That's a good start of the season for Jack St. Jean, coming out against a tough Winnacunnet team and getting a pin. He's actually up a weight class as well there. So a good win for Jack.
He came out. He was wrestling solid. I mean, he was just feeling out his opponent as far as the the pressure. Knowing when to switch off from moves. He's been looking really focused. I see him running the hallways. I see him every day as a student here at Goffstown High School. He's just focused on whatever he does, and he's got his game face on, and he looks determined this year.
So it looks like the coaching staff is bumping Noah Rapazo up to 138. He's going to be wrestling senior Matt Cooney, who is an excellent wrestler. So Noah's going to have his hands full this year, or this match with Matt Cooney. Noah's going to be a 132-pounder this year, but because of the weights and the forfeits from Winnacunnet, they kind of had a bump Jack, and then that means that they had to bump Noah. So he's going to be wrestling up, and he's going to be wrestling a really tough senior in Matt Cooney.
So Noah Rapazo, I mean, he's got a great attitude. I see the way he trains. He wants these high caliber matches. This is what's going to really take him to the next level, getting high caliber matches and staying in it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, he has a great attitude. He learns quick, which is great. He didn't come in with a ton of experience. Actually, he didn't come in with really much of any experience at all. So to get where he is now is just a testimonial to how hard of work he put in over the last couple of years with Goffstown.
Here's a typical Winnacunnet move. They like to put in legs from the top position, and it usually stalls out the guy's momentum on bottom. And then but Noah Rapazo is doing a great job, staying tenacious, trying to come up. What he needs to do right now on bottom is work that hand control. He's got a really seasoned wrestler from Winnacunnet that strong grip, really working the hands. He's working a bar arm to a half right now.
Yep, he's got it. He's got the bar.
He's in trouble right here.
So once he had that bar, and that was going to be tough to get out of.
Yeah, and it all starts with hand control and on bottom. And so obviously Winnacunnet was controlling the hands. He's got a bridge. He's got a bridge here. He's got to know how to work his hips and really punch through.
20 seconds left. The score is going to be 5-0 if he doesn't get a pin here, and he doesn't. So Noah fights off his back, and that's what we like to see too, especially early in the season, trying to just fight off your back and outlast opponents.
Yeah, he's got to start creating momentum. He's got some pauses in his wrestling right now as a Winnacunnet controls the top position here.
So that's going to bring a close to the first period, and your score is going to be 5-0 in favor of Matt Cooney for Winnacunnet. It's going to be Noah's choice, and it looks like Coach Stetchen's going to defer. And Winnacunnet's going to choose top. Todd, like you were saying, they like to work. They like to work legs. They like to work power halves on top, and obviously Matt Cooney is going to the bar again, so they like to work the bars as well. So if you're stalling out on bottom and not really creating those hand controls and it's being explosive, you are going to get caught.
Yeah, he's driving Noah Rapazo, forward a lot, so that creates a lot of pressure for Noah, and he's got to learn just to stand up, stick to his guns, and create some momentum and not have those pauses. So he'll get there. It's the first match of the season. He's wrestled a seasoned wrestler. I guarantee you this match will be looking much different by the end of the year.
Oh, definitely. Goffstown's always known for being a tough team at the end of the year. And that's when they peak, is they try to peak at states and the tournaments leading up to states like Timberlane and Cap City.
Yeah, and like you said, it's just like he's wrestling up a weight class, Noah Rapazo, tonight, and so you can definitely see the experience in the Winnacunnet wrestle, but also just a little bit outside sized as far as hand strength and strength.
Yeah, he's probably given up, close to 10 pounds in this match, which is a lot of weight. A lot of weight to give up in wrestling. So
that's substantial.
And not only that, he's given up experience as well. So he's got two things against him. But what I like seeing right now with Noah Rapazo is the fight that he's showing. He's not giving in, and he's fighting off his back, which is great. He's got to work for hand control. He's got to work on clearing his legs as well.
Get his knees right underneath him, and it just seems like he's just a split second behind all of that hand control. He's looking to he's got one right now, and hopefully as this match wears on, Noah Rapazo in his work ethic and conditioning can put together a good third period. So let's see how he does here. He's not looking good, like as far as letting him control those bar arms. He's got to move a little bit more, get his head up. Yeah, this is a double bar,
and that one's tight.
But
he's doing a good job of getting that right shoulder off the mat. He's got to punch through if he can with that left, with his right hand.
Yeah.
And unfortunately he can't with 9 seconds left in the second period. Matt Cooney gets the best of Noah Rapazo. But again, He's wrestling up a weight class. He's wrestling a tough senior for Winnacunnet, and I thought he showed a lot of promise.
Yes, absolutely. So he goes out there, and he's, he knew he was a bit outmatched, and, he did his best.
And we're going to have another tough one here with Mike Dow. Mike Dow is another seasoned wrestler for Winnacunnet, great wrestler, and he's going to be wrestling. It looks like they're bringing out Hunter Aldenberg. So looks like Goffstown's bumping up a few of their wrestlers. So let's see how Hunter comes out against the tough Mike Dow, and he just gets dumped to his back.
Yeah, that was a nice.
So that's going to be a five.
Carry.
That's going to be a 5-point move. It looks like there, and it is. So we got 2 points for that takedown, and then 3 points for a near fall.
One thing we like to see is, like, right off the bat, setting the tone for the season, getting out there and getting that first takedown. That's important in any match, is that first takedown. 85% of the wins, usually involve the first takedown.
And with a wrestler like Hunter Aldenberg, he's only really has one season of varsity wrestling under his belt. So coming out with a tough junior in Mike Dow, it's a tough task to ask.
And Hunter, too, he needs these matches. I mean, if he wants to compete at a high caliber, a high level, he needs these matches. He needs to know the speed. He needs to know the strength. He needs to know the chain wrestling. And those are the things that you just envision when you go to sleep tonight. How are you going to train tomorrow? And those are the things that we take into the practice room here at Goffstown High School.
And it looks like Mike Dow is going to get the pin over Hunter Aldenberg. But, yeah, Todd, you're right. And especially with Hunter being a captain this year, he's got to learn what it takes to elevate to that next level, not only for himself but for his team.
We know he's willing. We know that he's going to go out there and he's going to give his best each and every time. It's about practice. It's about the training room. It's about trying to gain experience.
So this is where you're going to see Winnacunnet's lineup really get deep. We've just seen Mike Dow. Now we're going to see senior Tyler Mallett wrestling Eric Choquette, and you're going to see from 38 really to 42, even to 70. They have John Farelli. So they have really in their middle of their lineup, they're pretty deep, and that's where I think their heart and their soul is of their lineup. They may be a thin team this year, but the middle of the lineup is really, really tough. I put them against pretty much anybody in the state.
Like with Winnacunnet having low numbers, sometimes what ends up happening too is that you get those committed wrestlers that really stick around, and they get a little extra attention in the practice room too. So that can really help with just the quality of wrestling and coaching time within the practice room. So these kids from Winnacunnet today, they're dedicated wrestlers, and it's nice to see them having a lot of pride for their school. Sticking it out when it's not as popular this year as far as the numbers. And again, we have a young team here at Goffstown, but our numbers are healthy, and we have a great coaching staff. We do have a new coach this year.
Yeah, Josh Deverin. He was on the 2011 state championship team.
Yep.
Where actually Goffstown and Winnacunnet went head-to-head in the state championship final round there. I believe there were maybe 5 head-to-heads in that finals match, with Goffstown getting the better of Winnacunnet that year.
Yeah, that was an exciting day. And, like Josh Deverin, he went into college and started wrestling for Roger Williams.
He did. He was the captain of Roger Williams.
Yeah. Wherever he has been at, he's given his heart and soul. He's passionate.
He loves wrestling. Was going to get an escape there.
Yeah. He loves wrestling, and he's bringing that infectious, excitement, that team chemistry, and he was a really, really smart student here at Goffstown High School as a student athlete, and also did the same at Roger Williams, and so we're excited to have him here coaching and teaching here at Goffstown High School.
So with the first period coming to the close, I feel that was a great period for Eric Choquette. Tyler Mallett's a great wrestler. He got taken down, but that's it. Didn't get turned, and there were a couple times where I thought Mallett was going to turn Choquette, and Choquette was smart. Choquette's a senior, but he really doesn't have much varsity wrestling experience as really any of the Goffstown wrestlers besides Jack St. Jean. Maybe you can even say Peyton Bickford. But other than that, there's really not much
named
experience.
3 of our Goffstown wrestlers who not only just are dedicated on the wrestling mat, but those are great students too. They're great student athletes, and so Choquette gets it done in the classroom too. And
so we just got a 2-point reversal there. So the score is going to be 4-0, and he was looking for a turn from a half, but Choquette was smart enough, put his elbows down, bellied out, and wasn't able to get turned. So with a minute and 30 left to go in the second period, Tyler Mallett is up 4-0 on Eric Choquette.
And Eric, I want to just say a shout out and congratulations to him for getting his Eagle Scout.
Hunter Aldenberg as well, right? Or wasn't there 2?
Yes, there was 2.
I think
absolutely.
I think it might have been Hunter as well. But yeah, Eric Choquette. Good just to see that. So, I mean, that's just a testament of how hard he works, not only on the mat, but off the mat as well.
Yeah, and character. I love the citizenship, the leadership that is expressed by him. So, again, he's going to take on this challenge with Dow here. And he's just got to get his knees underneath him, get his head off the mat, and just get an escape here. Get on the board at the end of the second period.
So Choquette just got hit with a stall warning, which basically means that he just wasn't doing enough movement in the ref's eyes. He was kind of balling out, which we call it in wrestling. He was not doing anything to improve his position. So sometimes you'll see the ref put his hand up, or put his fist up, and that just signifies a stall.
That getting a little feisty here.
Well, he's getting frustrated because he's trying to turn.
Headbutt a little bit here. Yeah, that's just not. I know it's frustrating, but it's just like he's going to get called for that if he continues to do that.
So with about 10 seconds left, it looks like Choquette's looking for an escape.
Yep. Feel those hands, pop those hips. Right back up.
And that's going to be the end of the second period with 4-0 in favor of Tyler Mallett of Winnacunnet. And it's going to be Goffstown's choice. And they're going to bring them neutral. Coach Devrient decided to bring them neutral for the start of the third period. So let's see if Eric can get a takedown here.
Okay. Good stances. Good setups. That's usually what wins in the third period. That's usually what gets takedowns. Early in the season, people, the wrestlers usually don't have the wrestling condition that they usually have mid-season to the end of the year. So third period, a lot of mistakes usually happen. So.
And I'll tell you what, the Winnacunnet kid made a really bad mistake there and shot with his elbows out, and he could have got picked there. He could have got picked because Choquette caught it, and he got that under.
So Eric looks like he's staying in position. Hopefully he takes control of that.
And there's a single by Mallett for another 2, so that's going to bring us to 6-0. Again, the team score is 24-24. We're all tied up here.
That was a great shot, great finish. Eric was looking to, as we call, ice pick it, which is just get an underhook in the head and try to throw him to his back, and
that could have been called for. That's a freestyle move that I just saw right there. That could have been a little bit potentially dangerous, but the ref didn't see it that way. So it looks like Choquette's going to be down 9-0 if he can hold off this pin.
Yeah, that was a great lift. I mean, you could see the athleticism in the hips.
That's a freestyle lift there. That would have been a 5. That might have been a 5-point move for a freestyle.
Definitely would have been a 5-point move.
And there's the pin for Winnacunnet's for Tyler Mallett of Winnacunnet. That's going to bring our team score to 30-24, and that's going to bring up Peyton Bickford for Goffstown, and he is one of our most, besides Jack St. Jean, most seasoned wrestler.
When you get on your back in the third period, it's tough, especially early season. There's not a lot of energy there, at the end of the third, so it's really tough. But good job for the Winnacunnet wrestler to be aggressive.
Well, let's see if co-captain Peyton Bickford can get Goffstown back on the winning side here. Looks like we got some good movement from Peyton, showing some fake shots. He's in on a single.
Peyton just signed to college. He's going to college he's got some money to be playing, and his sport is going to be lacrosse.
It looked like he was pretty slow at changing hands there. It could have been called the locking hands. The ref didn't see it that way, so it's going to be 2-0 for Winnacunnet here as Peyton's trying to get up to his feet, and possibly get an escape, and he does. So that's going to bring our score to 2-1 with 1 minute and 14 seconds left to go in the first period.
You know, it's a mentality. When you get taken down, you get right back up off that mat, and you get an escape. It's just like you're not going to be defeated.
No, and I like the motor that I'm seeing from Peyton. He's got a good chain wrestling going right now for Peyton Bickford.
Yeah, he's constantly moving. It's going to be tough to keep him down. He's tenacious. He's never defeated. He trains hard.
And he's in on another single. He's got to try to elevate that, but he's down to his knees again, and it looks like Winnacunnet's going to try to work down to that 3/4 and try to spin behind, but Peyton's doing a good job of holding on to that leg. He's going to have to try to get around that, turn the corner, as we say, or try to switch off to a double.
Yeah, when he shot it, he just gave just enough of a pause.
So he's in on a double there, but he's got his head on in between the legs. We want to see the head on the outside on that double, and then you turn the corner and get that.
Keep facing, don't let him.
And it looks like he's going to give up another takedown, so that's going to be 4-1 with about 20 seconds left to go. And there's another potentially slow exchange there on that locking hands, but it looked like he changed off a little bit quicker than I thought, so no call there.
I think you have 2 to 3 seconds to unlock hands as you return to the mat. So there is a little bit of delay.
A little bit of a delay.
Yep.
And even though Peyton's turned here, he's out of bounds, so there's going to be no back points awarded. So the score is going to stay 4-1 with just under 3 seconds left to go.
So Peyton Bickford goes down into the parterre position. Again,
and he's looking for a switch, but he's not going to have enough time. So that's going to be 4-1, and it's going to be Winnacunnet's choice. And they're going to choose top. So let's see if Peyton can.
So Peyton's goal here is to get an escape or a reversal when he's on bottom. And so let's see what he does.
So we have a caution there, and that's just for an illegal setup.
Goes for a switch.
And he's got the switch, so let's see if he can get 2.
There he is.
He's got the 2-point reversal and a nice return to the mat, so that's going to bring us 4-3.
I'll tell you what, this Winnacunnet wrestler, the pace of this match right now.
I don't think he can keep up with Peyton's pace.
No, this Winnacunnet wrestler does not like this.
So I think this is going to play into Peyton's favor, especially in the third period, if Peyton can keep this pace going.
Yep. He's running hard with his feet, digging in on that half. He's got the one-on-one with hand control. Even though the Winnacunnet wrestler is hipping down, Peyton's keeping the pressure on.
He is.
It
looked like he was going to throw in legs there, but jumped to the other side.
Winnacunnet is carrying Bickford's weight.
He is.
And so right now, Bickford, his goal right now is to expose the Winnacunnet wrestler's back.
And I do like how he's riding up on top, nice and tight. I'd like to see him pinch those knees a little bit more on the hips.
Yeah. He's staying off his knees a lot. A lot of his hip pressure.
So he's got some good hip pressure there. He's looking for a power half, or he's trying to get his head down to the mat there, maybe work a half. Winnacunnet kid's doing a good job of fighting. He's going to his cross wrist series right now.
And I believe we have choice, correct, in the third period coming up?
We do have choice in the third period, so that's going to play in big for Peyton to see what he does. He's probably going to choose down because Winnacunnet kid has not been able to hold Peyton down. As we just saw in the beginning of the second period, Peyton got a really quick reversal.
Yeah, so if Peyton can keep the Winnacunnet wrestler down for 36 seconds, right now he is down by a point. It's a 3-4 for Winnacunnet right now. But if we can keep that Winnacunnet wrestler down and then choose bottom, it's like we'll either tie it with an escape and it'll come down to a takedown, or and
there's Peyton working a power half there. Let's see if he can get a turn. He's not gonna. Winnacunnet kid's gonna hip down and does a good job of that.
Yep, about 15 seconds on the board right here, and looks like we're in control, hand control, nice flat. Just if we don't give a last second, escape, we're going to be looking good.
Yeah, so all Peyton needs to do right here with 4 seconds left is just stay heavy on top, keep him down, and bring it into the third period, only being down 1 point.
All right, I like this. Even though we're going into the third period less than a point down, and here we go. I think
this is where Peyton wants to be right now. I mean, I know he doesn't want to be down, but he's in good shape right now. I know the Winnacunnet kid's not going to be able to hold him down. So it's a matter of, is he going to get an escape or a reversal? And the Winnacunnet kid is going to just let him up. So they're going to start the period 4-4.
See, we start in the neutral position. Peyton has not been able to get a takedown just yet.
He's been in 2 deep shots, And the Winnacunnet kid was able to work down to his head and spin behind and get 2 on both of those shots. But it was actually scoring off of Peyton's shots.
Yeah, okay, there we go. And it looks like a much different match.
And there's a nice
in the
high
third
crotch.
period.
And let's see if he can finish.
He's getting fatigued.
He did a nice job there with his hips, and I think he's going to get 2 here. He's got to keep his hips. He's got to keep his hips.
He's got it. He's got it with the
There he
arm
goes,
around.
and he's got it. So he's got 2 points, and that's going to bring the score to 6-4 in favor of Peyton Bickford, your senior captain for Goffstown Grizzlies.
And this Winnacunnet wrestler right now, he just does not have the condition. And again,
Todd, in wrestling, it's what we call mentally breaking somebody. And I think the pace in that first period and also the pace that Peyton did in the second period, I just don't think the Winnacunnet kid could handle that pace for 3 periods, even though he came out with a 4-1 lead.
Okay, here we go. Now it's a
6-5.
1 point match as far as between with Peyton.
Take down a Winnis, and he's in on another shot.
So Peyton,
Takedown's going to win this match. So if Peyton can finish, he's going to be your winner. And it looks like he did a really good job of circling there. And he's going to get his 2, so that's going to bring the lead up to 3 points, 8-5 with 25 seconds left to go. And that was a huge takedown for Peyton Bickford.
So he really did not need that takedown right then and there. It's just like that's the motor that Peyton has.
Didn't need it, but if that kid took him down, it would have been a different story. So you're right, but Peyton wanted to dictate, and that's what you want to see. You want to be your own fate.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So that's going to do it for the third period in this match. So it looks like the match is going to end with an 8-5 victory.
Solid match.
And a great first win of his senior season for Peyton Bickford.
You know, he worked so hard, and I'll tell you, he just wore that Winnacunnet wrestler down.
So that's going to bring your team score to 30-27 in favor of Winnacunnet. And Emilio Barrier is coming up, and he's going to have a tough contest here with John Forelli. If we remember at senior night last year, Connor Bork had John Forelli's number, and they tried to bump against Connor Bork, so they didn't wrestle Connor Bork. And unfortunately, who was waiting for him was Ian Ruthier. And Ian Ruthier did a good senior night showing and beat Forelli on that night. But Forelli is a great wrestler.
Guess who's in the stands tonight?
Ian Ruthier.
Ian
Ruthier, who was playing football for St. A's, and I heard is having a great season, especially at special teams. I think he was special teams player of the week once or twice this season already. So he's already doing some good damage up at the collegiate level.
You know, every time he comes home and we see him at a Goffstown football game, or he comes walking through the hallways to say hi to people. Oh, here we go, right here.
So we got a takedown to his back, but Emilio did a good job of basing out. I'm not sure if he's going to run out of room here. It looks like he did. So he's not going to get any near fall points. So it's going to be 2-0. Emilio is a young wrestler, but
he's
tough.
Got middle school experience.
Tough.
He had
tough
a
wrestler.
whole freshman year of,
and he got a lot of experience at the varsity level last year.
Yep.
So he's looking, and he's got the body for a wrestler. If you look at him, he's got the really, really strong legs, strong calves.
The longer that you're in this sport, it's an experience-based sport.
It is.
Okay, you just don't walk into a wrestling room and you're just great. You know, you're not a champ when you walk in just because you're an athlete.
Right.
It's a sport that you have to develop at, and
it is. It's what separates wrestling from everything else.
That's what we're seeing right out here.
It looks like
on the
John
mat.
Forelli's going for a pin. He's got 30 seconds left.
Forelli's just a seasoned wrestler.
Forelli is. He wrestles in all the big tournaments, usually places in all the big tournaments. And it's just a tough matchup for Emilio Barrier. I think Emilio showed a lot of promise. He has a great shot. Emilio has a great dump, and he wrestles really tough. I just think he needs a little bit more experience. I think you're going to see a different Emilio Barrier at the end of the season.
Oh, absolutely. He's gonna make a lot of strides this year as a sophomore, and I see him in the weight room a lot, Chad.
Oh, he's in the weight room a lot. That was
hard.
Xavier Young taking a forfeit at 182, and Josh White taking a forfeit at 195, and that's going to bring us to the end of the match. So it looks like Goffstown is going to win tonight's matchup, which is great. It's a good first opening night for them against a tough Winnacunnet team. It's not a rival for Goffstown, but possibly is. I mean, we've been going hard with them since 2010, 2009. So for 6-7 years now, we've been going strong with them. So it's a good opening night for a young Goffstown Grizzlies team, led by really a junior in Jack St. Jean.
Yeah.
So you have a young team. But what I can say about this team is being in the practice room with them is that they're young, but they're really athletic. And as long as they have a willingness to learn, I think they're going to be a completely different team for the better at the end of the season.
I didn't even see one wrestler out there tonight even back down, even when they're outmatched.
No, right.
That's a good sign for us here at the Grizzly Den. As far as wrestler of the night, I liked how Jack St. Jean came out. Okay. And really had a solid performance.
He did.
And it was really, really methodical. Didn't get himself. I mean, he looked really good tonight, though.
He looked good. I want to give it to Peyton Bickford, though.
Yeah.
He had a tough match.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show you what wrestling can do to you if you cannot match your opponent's level. Even if you may have better technique than him, it's going to all come out in the third period, and Peyton was able to capitalize on that.
Oh, yeah, that was just amazing. You're down by a point going into the third period. You feel the momentum. That even though the Winnacunnet wrestler got out to a 4-1 lead at one point, was never able to hold Bickford down, and so that was amazing.
He wasn't. So that's going to do it for tonight. Again, another big win for Goffstown Grizzlies. They're going to have the Salem tournament coming up on Saturday, which is always a great tournament. There's going to be a lot of great teams. Pinkerton's going to be there. Central Catholic.
You don't have to travel far in New Hampshire.
You don't.
To get some really quality tournaments in wrestling here.
Not at all.
The New England, especially southern New Hampshire.
We saw that last week just at the preseason Grizzly Brawl.
It's just an amazing. It's amazing that southern New Hampshire and northern Mass right there, right at that line, just produces the best in New England.
Yep, you're right.
Okay, so we're looking forward to that. So
looking forward to it. We're looking forward to Saturday and seeing how these guys do in the first tournament of the season. Hopefully, we can have some of our wrestlers place. Especially, I know Jack has high hopes of placing on Saturday. So we'll see how that looks, and then we'll see how this team responds with the rest of the season.
Chad, thank you for your introductions tonight. Thank you for hosting. And again, this is Chad Detchen and Todd the Valley signing out.